Hello, my most beautiful besties in the entire world. It's officially 2025, and I wanted to start off this year by doing a video kind of similar to what Robert Welsh did. If you guys did not see, Robert Welsh recently posted a video with what he wants to see this year in 2025 and what he wants to see left behind in 2024. I was super inspired by that video, so I thought I kind of put my 2 cents into with what I want to see this year in the beauty community. So with that said, grab a snack and grab a drink, besties, because I want you to stay hydrated. Okay, so like I said, I'm heavily inspired by Robert Welsh. He did a video where he just talked about things that he wanted to see in the beauty community going forward in 2025. And he made some really valid notes that I was like, yes, I agree. So I thought, why not put my own 2 cents into it? So I'm going to kind of start off with what he started off with, which was the whole segment about TikTok. Now, we obviously don't know what's going to happen to TikTok. There is a good chance that it could still get banned on the 19th. We have no idea. I am on TikTok. I'm not as present on TikTok. I literally have a very, very small following on TikTok. I don't really get a lot of views, but I have had fun playing with the app. And what he talked about in his video was that he was so tired of seeing all these mega brands do 50-hour TikTok lives. And let me tell you, he's not far off. He's not far off. I can't tell you how many times I've seen major brands consistently being on TikTok live selling their products. And it's QVC style, which is just the craziest thing, because I know that QVC channel is still a thing on cable network where you can go and buy makeup or you can go and buy products off of QVC. That's exactly what TikTok Shop has become. It's a huge, massive QVC channel, essentially, where you see all these major brands, mostly the owners, sitting there selling their products at a discounted rate, giving coupons, doing giveaways. Normally that wouldn't be the biggest deal, but the problem that I have is when brands exclusively launch products only on TikTok. Now, not everybody has TikTok, and not everybody has TikTok Shop. I believe TikTok Shop is primarily based in the US. I don't really know if other countries still, I don't know if the other countries are able to get TikTok Shop. I know a few of my friends who do live internationally don't have access to TikTok Shop. And I don't think it's fair if brands exclusively launch products on TikTok Shop or launch it first on the TikTok Shop and then bring it to the website a week later. Because I feel like they're alienating their fan base who may not have access to TikTok or TikTok Shop. And it's what about everybody else? I get it. I get that there's 2 different platforms. There's 2 different audience bases. If I feel like you're gonna be branded or launch something, you should launch it everywhere. It should not just be on TikTok Shop. And you guys know that I love Glamlight so much, but Glamlight has been notorious for doing this exact thing right here, where they've been launching over on TikTok Shop first, maybe a week later or so they'll launch on their website. They've gotten a lot better. They truly have, but they are one of the brands that come to mind. Lunar Beauty did the exact same thing. Manny MUA launched his latest launch on the TikTok Shop first during his TikTok live before he brought it to his website. Now granted, he only waited a day before he brought it to his website, which isn't too bad, but I just feel can we just have a massive launch everywhere and not just it be on the TikTok Shop first? Not to mention, I feel like there's so many brands that have heavily focused on TikTok. Whenever I get offered any sort of PR or sponsorship deal, they only ever want to know where my primary base is, whether it's TikTok or Instagram. They never ask about YouTube. They don't care about a lot of the YouTubers anymore, which is just kind of crazy, because I feel like people are slowly coming back to YouTube, but you'd be surprised at how many brands don't care about YouTube. They only care exclusively about TikTok, followed by Instagram. Now, for me, Instagram is such a dead platform. It's a dead platform for me. I do not grow on Instagram to save my life. In fact, I lose followers every day. I don't know how to grow. I don't know how to gain traction. It is such a difficult platform to navigate. At least for me, it is. So I just am oh yeah, here's my Instagram numbers, but I just don't get it. I've never found how to hit that market on there. It is what it is. It's okay. But I noticed a lot of brands, like I said, they heavily focus on TikTok, which makes me wonder, if TikTok does shut down, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? I feel like a lot of brands have put all their eggs into one basket, and that's being the TikTok platform. That they've kind of alienated any other platform out there or any other content creator who may be focused on other platforms. And it's just kind of you should diversify where you put your brand at. You shouldn't just focus solely on the TikTokers to promote your products. There are other places you can promote your products like Snapchat, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. There are other platforms and other content creators who soar in other areas that you can also promote your products there. And it just really makes me wonder, what are some of these brands going to do that exclusively went to TikTok and stopped working with YouTubers or Instagrammers or Snapchat people? Like, what are they going to do? Like, because they put all their eggs in one basket. Time will tell. Another thing that Robert kind of talked about was an influx of PR. Now, I have said to you guys that I felt that in 2024, I was part of the overconsumption problem. And I still stand by that. I feel like I overconsumed way too much. I feel like I bought things just because I felt the need to buy them. I didn't actually always want to buy every item that I bought, but I just wanted to because I knew, well, this is something that people would want to see. Let me go ahead and buy it. And then I used it once, and then what? I wouldn't use it again. That's so wasteful. It's so wasteful. And I just realized that, like, I don't need to buy every single makeup launch to create videos. And that's what I felt like. I felt like if I didn't buy the newest launch, I would become irrelevant. No one would watch my channel anymore. And it's just really drove me to overconsume way too much. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to buy makeup throughout the year. I'm still going to buy the new releases that I personally want to buy, but I definitely want to be a little bit more mindful with my purchases. I want to try to find an alternative to the release. If I don't want to buy the release, find an alternative, like a dupe of some sort. I don't want to have to sit here and buy makeup at launch after launch after launch, because it's just ultimately so wasteful. I have a whole room of makeup products that I just generally will never be able to go through my entire life. And I really tried so hard this past declutter season to declutter so much makeup, but I feel like I did a fantastic job getting rid of like 50% of my makeup collection. And I definitely feel like I can do a lot more. So I'm definitely going to be a little bit more conscious this year when it comes to overconsumption. You see it literally all over TikTok. TikTok literally shows you how much people overconsume. And it's not just by purchasing, it's by PR. PR has gotten so ridiculous again. I am fortunate enough to not get a shit ton of PR, but when I do, I'm incredibly grateful. And I give back more than you guys realize. I give away a box of PR makeup every single month to my Patreon members as my way of saying thank you so much for being there. So I do give back a lot of makeup without having to be like, look what I'm doing, look all this makeup I'm giving away. No, I just give it away to them just for being there. And I feel like PR has really gotten to be so much. Like, if you look at Michaela Nagori, she would do a weekly PR unboxing where she got 50 PR packages every single week. That is just insane. That is insane to me. That is just way too much, because some brands, obviously they want to get the traction, they want to get the attention, so they sit there and they send all these glorious, huge ass PR boxes with every single product in the world that they own. It's like, that to me is just unnecessary. I would be perfectly content if I just got a small little brown box or one or two items that they know will work for me, whether it's my perfect skin color match, my lip color match, my oil control, like whatever it is they want to send. I would be perfectly content getting like 1 to 2 items in a very minimalistic packaging so I can recycle it and not be overwhelmed with so much products, because it does get very overwhelming. Like I said, I don't get it that often, but when I do, it becomes really overwhelming and I end up shutting down and just going, you know what, I'm going to only try very few and I'm going to give away the rest because I don't know what to do with it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to do with all this PR. So I just would kind of like to see brands kind of slow down with the influx of PR this year, or with how much they send, because I just feel like it's so much and I feel like ultimately becomes super wasteful. Speaking of PR, I would like to see brands stop playing favoritism. I cannot tell you how many times brands play favoritism towards content creators. And I get that in the day, it's based upon the follower size. The bigger following you have, the more money you make the brand, the more they're going to kiss your ass and love you, right? Now, when it comes to mainstream media, I totally understand that, but I'm more referring to indie brands. You'd be surprised at how many indie brands last year, I guess now, has shown me their true color with how they treat me versus how they treated other content creators who have a bigger following than me. It's like kind of sad. I wouldn't say it's like wild or shocking, because it's not, but it's just kind of sad because like they could be so nice, right? They could be so nice, but they won't reshare your content. They won't repost your content. They won't like your content. They will leave you on red in the DMs. They might go, thanks. And that's the most you get. But then you see them turn around to a content creator that's really big and going, oh my God. And they repost everything going, this person loved it. Look at how much they loved our product. And it's just kind of like, oh, okay, so I'll just go fuck myself, because like I'm not as big, so you don't care that I'm reviewing a product that you sent me, but you care that they did. It's just so much a slap in the face, in my opinion. And I get that it's a business and I should not be offended, but you know, as someone who has always struggled with self-worth and self-value and always feel like I'm never good enough for this world and have really struggled mentally, it's just kind of a reminder of that when you see some of the brands that you really love could give two shits about you, what you do, the review that you do for them, and just focus on other people who are a lot bigger. It's just kind of like a reminder of that. You're just like, cool, I'm not good enough for you either. Then why did you even bother sending me stuff? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of the vibe I get. I'm not going to sit here and say what brands do it. The only thing I will say is just pay attention to the brands that you see give certain PR to versus others. Just pay attention to that. That's what I'll say. Speaking of like PR and stuff like that, I'm going to talk about, you know, sponsorships. I am so over the undisclosed sponsorships. I don't see it as much here on YouTube, but I see it all the time on TikTok. And it's just so sad because it's so obvious that they're doing an ad or a sponsorship and the content creator refuses to disclose it. I'm just like, it takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds to be like, thank you so much for, perfect example, thank you so much to Iconic London for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Like, you guys know how much I love them. Do you see how quick that took? It's just so sad to see so many content creators just not disclosing it. And I just really hope that you as a viewer can discern when it's an ad versus when it's not an ad. I hope you guys are a little bit more vigilant with your purchases this year. Don't fall for every single thing that you see. Some are really big undisclosed ads and I'm just tired of seeing it. I'm so tired of seeing it because then it just puts like a bad image on all content creators. Like, they'll think that, well, this is just an undisclosed ad. It's like, no, in reality, it's not. I disclose my ads, but people just now automatically assume that you're just like everybody else and then don't disclose it. And I really wish people can just go back to being honest. And I also wish that content creators will stop settling for less when it comes to brands. You'd be surprised at how many brands will lowball you and pay you pennies for you to make content for them. And as a smaller content creator, I'm offered very little. I am offered very little. Like, there's a brand, I'll flat out say, Ana Luis Jewelry, that says I'm not worth more than $75. Literally, I'm not worth more than $75 for them to take my video and to turn around and go use it for advertising purposes to sell their jewelry. I literally was the only time I ever told a brand to essentially piss off. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like that's so condescending. Like, you're telling me that your pennies that cost you to buy that jewelry, I'm not worth more than $75 from my 5-minute video that potentially can make sales for you. It's just a joke. And it's just really sad because there's so many smaller content creators than me that have fallen for this and that would just agree to it because they don't know how to say no and they don't know how to advocate for themselves and how to ask for their proper pay. And I was one of them. Like, I was one of them for years. I would just say yes, but go, okay, yes. And I would, God, for the first like 2 or 3 years of my YouTube journey, I never even got paid. I would do a little sponsorship moment for the person or for the brand. I wouldn't even get paid. The product was my paid, but the product was my payment. Like, that was my payment. And I didn't know that I had a right to ask to be paid. I didn't know. No one educated me. And I wish that someone did. And so I just really hope that going forward, so many smaller content creators can just know that their value, that they have value. It doesn't matter if they have 10 followers or 10 million followers. If you are doing the work for the brand, you deserve to be paid for your time. You would never go work a 9-to-5 job for free. So do not give these brands free work either, because that's not fair to you. Another thing that I saw Robert talk about that I have been saying for so long is that I am so over seeing makeup heavily infused with skincare. Like, can we just get away from it? I have been saying this for quite some time. I'm so over the amount of skincare ingredients that are inside makeup products. It's like, 95% skincare, the rest makeup. I'm like, dude, I already have a very, I would say, strict skincare routine. I have fairly oily skin, so I know what works for me, what does not work for me. And I'm so over all these brands making skincare infused makeup products because that skincare property, the skincare they might have in their makeup might not work for me or might not work with my skin type or might alter what I already put on my face. And what happened to just makeup being makeup? Like, people don't need to have skincare inside makeup for every single launch. I'd really hope that we can start to see less of that this year. And I also really hope we can start seeing more fun, colorful looks this year, more full coverage makeup looks this year. Like I have been seeing everybody on TikTok primarily saying that they missed the 2016 makeup days when everything was full coverage. There was matte lip, people did colorful eye looks, people did cut creases. I'm like, yes, bring that back. Like I'm not saying you have to do that every day, but bring it back. I am such a full coverage girly, except when I'm going to work. I am such a full coverage girly. I love full coverage makeup. I love fun, colorful eye looks, and I just kind of be nice if we could see that slowly make a comeback this year. I would be so excited. Another thing that Robert talked about is that he would love to see bringing back the long form content. I absolutely agree with him. I love long form content so much. It's literally all I watch. I may go on TikTok at night if I'm scrolling through, just trying to find something, just going through mindlessly going before I go to bed, or if I'm taking a shit on the toilet, I'll just be on TikTok scrolling through. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind it then, but like if I'm, going around and I'm cleaning the house, I'm editing, I'm driving, I'm doing a little workout, I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing, I love putting on a long form video. If I'm eating dinner, eating lunch, breakfast, whatever it is I'm doing, I love watching long form content. I think it's just so relaxing, and I feel like also allows you to make a bond with the person that you're watching. I feel like you really can't connect with somebody over a minute video. You don't really get to know necessarily who they are as a person, and like you don't get to know their life and their story, and I just kind of miss connecting to people. Like I used to be obsessed with Robert E. Christie way back in the day because she shared her life, she shared her journey, and I love being part of that. Things are very different now, but I just feel like, why can't we bring that back? I like sitting here and like listening to someone I love watching tell their life. It's why I love watching the game. It's why I love the gaming community so much, because there's so many of my people that I follow that live stream on YouTube and TikTok and Twitch, and they'll play for like 7 to 8 hours a day playing like Call of Duty or Fortnite, or the few people that I watch, and you just get to know them. You get to know their personality. They share their stories with you. You're with them for 6 to 7 hours of the day. It just really helps to cut the loneliness that this job can do, because this job can get very lonely. That's why I am so grateful I have another job. But it can help that loneliness feeling, just having someone there that you could just listen to and you just kind of enjoy their story and their life, and you can kind of grow with them. And I really do miss that. I really do. Plus it's just so entertaining. Like I don't have cable, and I love watching YouTube. Like one of my favorite, I'm sure you guys heard me say this so many times, one of my favorite content creators ever, his name is Corey X Kenshin. I love him. He is the top gamer to me. He has 20 million followers, and he plays a lot of horror games. And I love him so much, and to watch his journey, how he started to where he is now, it's just truly inspiring. And every video he puts on, like every horror game he plays, I will stop what I'm doing to watch the entire thing. And it's just the most entertaining, and it allows me to disassociate from my life for the 45 minutes that video may be long. It allows me to disassociate from my life for like 45 minutes, which is just fantastic. I can escape my world, go into somebody else's, and be distracted for that 30-minute video. And I just really wish that they would start to really bring that back. So hopefully we'll start to see that more this year. Speaking of like long form, I would really love to see more authenticity when it comes to content creation, in the sense that I don't want to be sold something. I'm sure you guys don't want to be sold something. Granted, I feel like sometimes I can come off as that way when I'm doing like my testing new makeup, and I don't ever want to come off that way. I don't ever want to come off as a salesman, because I'm gonna be very frank with you guys. Whenever I do a review and I'm trying out new products, whether you buy it or not, that's up to you. It doesn't affect me one way or another. Like it truly doesn't. I just review the makeup because I enjoy it and I love it, and I want to tell you guys about it. But if you buy it or not, I don't really care. I just enjoy the fact that you guys are here. And if you go over on TikTok, you see salesman after salesman after salesman. It'd just be kind of nice if people bring back authenticity and kind of slow down and stop selling you something, but more just share their lives and their stories. Like I would just love to see that more. Another thing that I would love to see in 2025 is just diversifying content. I know that I'm a makeup channel, but I would love to diversify my content just a little bit more. Like I always tell you guys I want to do this, and I did for a while. I would talk about books on my channel, and I would show video games on my channel. I like to do that again. Like I really, really would. Like I know that like tons of people out there be like, no, if you're gonna do other type of content, you have to create another channel. You have to create another channel. It's like, but why? Like I have my Florida life for vlogging. I could go put stuff on that channel, and I might, but like, why? If I want to show some book stuff here, why can't I? Like so many times I show books in my videos. So many of you guys are like, yes, a girly who loves makeup and books. So why can't I show both? You know what I mean? Why can't I show both parts of myself and even implement games? Why can't I show that part of myself? I'm not just a makeup person. I'm a huge avid reader. I'm a huge video game lover. I'm a huge outdoor person. Like, there's so much more of my personality than just doing makeup. I want to be able to show that to you guys and not feel like I'm just stuck in a bubble, because I want to be able to grow and evolve and do other things as well and show you guys other aspects of my life as well, because it also makes it fun for me. You know, it can get very stagnant doing the same exact thing over and over and over again. So it's kind of fun when you kind of mix things up and you kind of review, it kind of show other aspects of your life or film other things. It gets exciting again. So I really like to see more diversified content in 2025. And then the last thing that I want to see in 2025 is I want to see a slowdown on the launches. I feel like we had so many launches in 2024. We had back to back to back to back launches. A lot of it came from indie brands, and indie brands are not cheap by any means. And it would just be nice if they kind of slowed down, because I feel like we're being thrown makeup at our face 24/7 left and right, and I feel like we don't have room to breathe, nor do we have room to even play with the new products. Like, you get a palette and then the next week a new brand has another new palette. I'm like, can we just slow down? Can we enjoy what we purchased for a couple months before we have another launch? I feel like it's just so much, and it just really leads to the overconsumption issue. It leads people to being burnt out. It leads people to be, people to feel FOMO because I can't buy every single launch, and it leads people to be overwhelmed, myself included. I don't want to buy every launch. I don't want to have to, have 500 palettes thrown in my face, because I'm just like, oh, hold on, because I'm going to pick what I think I might like the best, and I'll miss out on so many others. And I just want to be able to cherish what I have and not feel like, okay, I just got this highlighter, and now I got this. It's like, let me just enjoy what I have. So I just wish that brands would slow down on the launches and be more thoughtful in the launches. Maybe instead of throwing half-assed products or products that are just like, they're okay, maybe they can slow down, take some time to put some thought into it, and they can be surprised at how much more money they can make when they take their time. ColourPop is a great example. ColourPop really slowed down their launches in 2024. They didn't have nearly as much, but the collections that they did roll out with, I thought were fantastic. I thought they were great. They took their time with packaging, with product, with color stories, and I just want to see that more for indie brands going forward, and just mainstream brands as well. The mainstream brands, they're not too bad, but like indie brands were heavily throwing palette after palette after palette at us this past year, and it'd just be nice to see a little bit of a slowdown. So those are like what I want to see in 2025. I hope this video makes sense. I never really kind of just done like a sit down like this and like talked about what I want to see in 2025, but I watched Robert Welsh's video. I was so heavily inspired. I was like, yes, I agree. So if you guys want to see what his thoughts are, I will link his video down below. But with that said, let me know down below what you guys want to see this year in 2025 in terms of the beauty community, in terms of YouTube content creation as a whole. Let me know what you guys want to see down below. So with that said, guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. So I do post 3 to 4 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful paid members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video.